One of the things I most admire about you is your optimism, your love of the country. But I'm an old Reagan optimist and remained very optimistic 40 years later when I worked for Trump. And actually having this interview with listening to you're making me even more optimistic today. So that's always a good thing. I will quote from your speech. This should be a joyful springtime for our nation. You said that about 6 weeks or so.
Absolutely.
You still feel the same way right now. And you mentioned specific items like the infrastructure package, taxes, school choice, police and election reform. You had that all in your speech as part of the Scott agenda that I think the entire GOP should adopt. Is this looking like a joyful springtime?
Well, Larry, it certainly is a joyful springtime if you don't look at the government. The truth of the matter is Americans are getting it together every single day. As we emerge out of this pandemic, even the Biden administration can't stop a fierce return in the third and fourth quarters of GDP growth. Here's what we should have, however, is we should have the wind at our backs and not in our faces. And that's what small businesses around the country will face with the type of spending we've seen from the Biden administration. $1.9 trillion for our COVID package that spent less than 10% on COVID relief, a $2.3 trillion infrastructure package that actually eliminates right to work laws in 27 states. That is antithetical to developing infrastructure and frankly has nothing to do with infrastructure. And then this new focus on family planning. I don't know what $1.8 trillion buys you in family planning, but we can't afford it. So literally, we should go back to the drawing board and believe in the American people. When we do that, it is springtime in America. We are the most capable people who are willing to lean into opportunities disguised as obstacles, problems that lead to promise. When we do that, we have the greatest discoveries. One of the reasons why President Trump's administration and people like you helped us bring forth the Warp Speed project that brought a vaccination in less than a year is because we believe in American ingenuity. The world believed and leaned in with us, and we did what people said was impossible. Even in a decade, we did it in less than a year. That's one of the reasons why it is springtime in America.
The signing of the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And the Declaration, of course, talks at some length about the importance of the laws of nature and nature's God. I mean, it's like there's a ranking in the Declaration of Independence that God comes first, people come second, government comes last. We derive our freedom from the Lord, the Creator, and government derives whatever it has from us. Now, I think the Bidens rather have that backwards. But what I want to get to is your dramatic statement in your counter speech that America is not a racist country. It was the most wonderful thing for my ears, frankly, and I think you rallied hundreds of millions of people around the world with that. But this Declaration of Independence, I don't see where it says America is a racist country. I don't see where it says America is a bunch of white supremacists. This is like 5 or 6 pages, the Bill of Attainder against a despotic British monarch who took our rights away. But you can't be much clearer, can you? We are endowed by our Creator. It doesn't say some people. It says all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So I'm trying to connect the dots to July 4th, the Declaration of Independence. By the way, Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations, was written in 1776. Don't know if you knew that. And the framers loved it. This is not a racist country. This is a free country. This is an optimistic country. 100%. Tell me, talk to me. This is one of your greatest contributions. One of the things America needs to hear, Senator Scott.
Well, Larry, it's a simple concept. The concept is American progress. Can you see it? Is it tangible? If you look back over history, can you see racism, discrimination in a systemic system designed for the oppression of people? The answer is yes. Have we overcome that? Unequivocally, without doubt, assuredly, Yes, emphatically yes. The evolution, the arc towards justice consistently has been in the right direction. Here's what you should remember. My grandfather, born in 1921, would be 100 years old this August. He watched his family in his lifetime, 94 years, go from cotton to Congress in his lifetime. Here's a man in 8 years old, picking cotton, forced to drop out of school, going to work for his father as well as other folks just to make ends meet. He believes in this concept of the American dream, though he did not experience it all himself. But he kept believing, and every decade, things got better, not just for him, but for people all across this world, because white people and black people work together to bring to fruition this birth certificate that guaranteed life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for all Americans. It is a story of progress. Why we spend more time in the rearview mirror and less time in the windshield, I'll never understand. We should actually reverse that. We should spend most of our time in the present and the future, and only enough time in the rearview mirror to learn the lessons, not to repeat the past. But for us to pretend like this is somehow 1965 or 1921 or worse, 1865, is only to denigrate the progress, the pain, the misery, and the loss of lives that got us to a place where in 2010, I was elected to Congress in the birthplace of the Civil War. Or in 2008, this nation voted for President Obama.
Look at, I mean, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In my lifetime, in your lifetime, sir, I saw all the civil rights changes. I'm an old civil rights Republican. I started out as a Jack Kemp Republican, basically. So I'll end this presidential length interview with your words from your great speech. Here's how you ended it. Quote, "So I am more than hopeful. I am confident that our finest hour is yet to come. Original sin is never the end of the story, not in our souls, not in our nation. The real story is always redemption."
Always.
Senator Tim Scott, we owe you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your spirit. Thank you for your trust in America, sir. And we'll visit soon. Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina, everybody.
I've never been disappointed in our country. Never been disappointed. God bless you.
God bless you too, sir.